Good morning, everybody, and this is your S&P 500 setups for today. Sorry, been a bit erratic this week, and next week's going to be no better. We won't be around next week, so going into the bush to take a little bit of a break, which is going to be fun. So we've had a fairly decent breakout. We haven't really had any pullbacks to talk about, and you can see that was sort of the range that we've slipped into for the beginning of the week, and then we've broken through. I still think this is a bit of an exhaustion bar at the moment. So, the trend is up. We're looking for structure to the upside. So we need to wait for a pullback onto a level before we can buy into this. Now, when we start drilling down through the time frames, 3 hour, no difference. We're above the moving average, has been strong through last week and even this week. I think you could have actually bought the bottom of the range and kept a stop below this pin bar. You would have probably been able to trigger this move to the upside, but that's what happens when you're in such a strong trend. So at the moment you can see we are forming some form of a range today. We do have data coming out again today, and I'm not sure what triggered this move yesterday. I wasn't paying attention really. But as you can see, when you drill down to the hour, there's absolutely zero pullback onto structure. And as we've said most of last week as well, the trend is up. You're looking to buy the pullbacks. The pullbacks have been pretty messy, but it has moved in an upward direction. And I think we are not done yet. I think there's a lot more coming. So 15 minutes is where you want to be playing, and you can see on the 15 minute you start getting some levels to pay attention to. So the first one is going to be 56.28, and then I'm going to assume 5600 is probably, or 56.24 is the next one. Be wary, there are gaps to the downside. There's one here. Yep, there's a little one right here at 56.06, and there's one just below it. That's got to be 5600, 56.01. And I think there was one right at the beginning of the move. Yeah, there it is there. And that is around 55.83. So you can see yesterday's price action. If you just look at this objectively here, you can see the day before we had all this chaos. Nobody really knew what was going on. And then sideways and gradually started climbing. And if I just adjust this level, I just want to put another one in. You can see, I don't really know where the high of the range was from the previous day. It's one of these two levels, and that's 55.92 and 55.94. And you can see a range bar onto it, then another range bar with a engulfing bar. This is kind of an engulfing bar as well, but that's a double bottom. Granted, it's in an uptrend, but you get my drift. It's testing a level twice, and then the break above there could have been your trigger, or even as soon as you got above the second move there, stop down here, you would have been in for a ride of around 394 points at the moment. So that's the one scenario. The next scenario is there is a level that's forming at the moment at 56.38, so very similar to what happened yesterday. You can see the level formed here, and it formed the previous day. Then you had the break and the retest, so that was your trigger. That was a break of the range. You're looking for a move to the upside. So I think the same thing could happen here. Break of 56.34, retest of that. You're looking for a continuation to the upside. Don't really have a target at the moment because we are pretty much going parabolic, and there's nothing really to the left. We're at all-time highs at the moment, so there's really nothing that is telling us, apart from the oscillators, it's telling us to be careful of what we see. So I would be willing to just put in maybe a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 risk profile. So in other words, risk 1 point to win 2 or win 3, and then just take profit at that point. Let's just double check there's no measured move on offer. The only measured move would be a move equal to the move of yesterday. So big move up, range, break, retest, continuation, and then we should move the similar kind of 450 points. But my advice is don't be greedy. You do have some data coming out as well. So just wait for the break, retest, watch for it on the 15-minute, get your alerts in. Doesn't look like a break might happen now, but I doubt that. I think it'll pop up, form another high, then just keep going, just ranging. It'll either break during the European session, or it'll range during the European session and then break later on in the US session. And remember, whenever US opens, I think I did it yesterday, top 3. So this was the open right here on this range bar. We rallied and then it came back. It always comes back to try and close the cash market gap, which would have been around 55.86, which it didn't really do, but it does always try come back to close the cash market gap. So even if it breaks up above this level at 56.38, I would expect it to come back and test it. So right now, that is your entry. Break, retest there, you're looking for a long. Otherwise, you're looking for a move down. And lastly, just pay attention to the gaps. There's too many of them to mention, but there's one right on the open here. There's another one. There's another one. This red bar is another one. This red bar is another one. There's one right here. So just pay attention to those gaps. Whenever you see those gaps, they always act as magnets as well. So any bit of bad news could drive us down to come and close a gap, and then the buyers would step back in again. Okay, so that's my view for today. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.